Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
12 people are dead after a 28-year-old Marine Corps veteran opened fire early this morning at a bar in Thousand Oaks, California. The shooter was Ian David Long. He died by suicide at the scene.
He also had a run-in with authorities last April where 2 mental health counselors were called suspecting PTSD. Long did serve in the war in Afghanistan.
According to the Gun Violence Archive, this has been the 307th mass shooting this year, and we are only on the 311th day. That's almost a shooting every day in 2018. The archive defines the mass shooting as a shooting in which 4 or more people are shot.
There's a groundbreaking effort underway in St. Paul, Minnesota to understand the motivations behind mass shootings and the only research of its kind in the U.S. Lindsay Sievert shares how they hope that this research drives conversations and prevention.
All of a sudden you hear like the bang bang of the gunshot. We just tried to get out. We just tried to take cover.
How have we arrived here when another public place becomes a site of horror and bloodshed, when the news alerts don't surprise us, when we don't even go a week between mass shootings anymore?
It's getting exhausting. You know, we've now had 3 in 2 weeks, so we're in the middle of what we would call a cluster. And you kind of have to remind yourself to stay horrified by it.
So Dr. Jillian Peterson, criminal justice professor and psychologist, focuses on the victims.
Reading their stories, looking at their faces.
The inspiration for a first-of-its-kind database of mass shooters created right here at Hamline University with a counterpart and a team of student researchers. The names and crimes of 155 shooters over the past 50 years are coded and categorized.
You see violence goes up during times where people don't have trust.
The database searches for commonalities between 60 facets of the shooter's life history.
So anything from trauma, substance abuse, mental health history, role models, family dynamics.
But the link Peterson is searching for?
One big finding was that there was no pattern, right? So, and as a researcher, that's a little disappointing. But what we did find is that it was the number of risk factors people had that was pretty consistent. That it was not just mental illness, or not just being bullied, or not just traumatic childhood. It was sort of slow build of things over time. And then there was usually kind of an immediate trigger. So whether it was a breakup or losing the job, something that kind of pushed someone over the edge.
One surprise, shooters are often suicidal before planning a massacre.
Sort of angry suicides. Another finding was how common military service was in someone's background, and that was the case in the shooting today again.
And with, sadly, a list of cases piling up in the database, answers may still lie in these pages. A new $300,000 grant from the Department of Justice will now allow Peterson to peer into the minds of these shooters.
So we have funding to go and interview 5 living mass shooters who are currently incarcerated across the country. And then we'll also be going to the communities where those mass shootings occurred and interviewing people in the community. You have to be willing to hear these stories. And I think it's hard because sometimes it sounds like, you know, you're humanizing people who have done something awful. But the point of this is actually to prevent new victims.
The database shows that the majority of mass shooters are men, with only 3 women who have been behind the gun. 60% of all shooters are white. The database will be released tomorrow in St. Paul, with that hope that it will be turned into a public website where people can submit information and use as a resource for mental health, for the government, and for lawmakers.
And as a sign of respect to the 12 victims who lost their lives in this morning's shooting, Governor Doug Burgum directed all government agencies to fly the U.S. and North Dakota flags at half-staff today. The order is in effect until sunset Saturday. North Dakotans are also encouraged to do the same at their homes and businesses as a mark of solemn respect for the victims, again, of that shooting.
We made it into the 20s today, but it's not where we should be for this time of year. Hutch, any hope of warming up tomorrow?
Well, no, it looks like another day with highs only in the 20s is on the way, and even a little bit of snow is likely in the forecast. Here is a look at that radar. Things quieting down a little bit down to the south. where there has been more heavy bands of snow this evening. Just south of Grand Forks, we see a band of snow developing there as well. So passing snow showers, single-digit temperatures out to the west right now. It's 14 in Detroit Lakes and Bemidji. So it's going to be cold, and overnight the wind increases. That gusty north wind will drive wind chills down into the 5 to 15 below category for the bus ride in the morning. So a chilly start to Friday. We don't warm up a lot either. And snow for some for the North Dakota Deer Opener weekend. Details in a moment.
Cold and wind, that's a nasty combination.
It is.
Thanks.
Fargo police have confirmed that one woman is dead after a 3-vehicle crash near the M&H gas station off of Main Avenue in Fargo. Police say 88-year-old Lois Kohler Fritz of West Fargo was taken to a local hospital and later died. The cause of yesterday's crash is still under investigation.
A child continues to recover after being hit by a vehicle near an elementary school in Jamestown. Authorities say that it happened south of Lincoln Elementary School yesterday afternoon. A police officer says that the injured was female, was taken to the Jamestown Hospital with unspecified injuries.
Authorities in Polk County want you to be aware of a scam involving the lottery. The sheriff's office says they have received complaints about it. Apparently, the caller claims to be from the Florida Lottery and is telling people they've won $8 million. Then the caller asks for a $1,400 processing fee, saying they need it before they can send their winnings. Polk County authorities are reminding you not to give out your personal or banking information.
An oversight 3 years ago prompted a Florida man to build stop arms for school buses that are flashier and brighter. His idea has gone viral on Facebook, with people demanding the devices be put on every school bus.
I actually ran a stop sign in my neighborhood where my kids live, and when I did that, there was no way that I could ever live with myself had I ran some little kid over.
Take a look at your screen. The device has 2 stop arms paired with strobe lights, creating a dramatic scene at any bus stop. But in the eyes of transportation directors, the added attention is much needed.
I think that would definitely help out in the rural because you're stopping along a road that has higher speeds and you need as much notification as you can.
And Ringer says a price point isn't finalized yet. He's still working on prototypes. But with the demand growing larger every day, he's hoping to roll out his products very soon, saying he thinks the stop arms will reduce the amount of bus stop accidents by 70 or 80%.
If you need help uncovering fraud or corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline and we'll do our best to get to the bottom of it. Call 237-6576 and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth.
We want to let you know that water will be shut off tomorrow for people living in certain areas of West Fargo. It's happening from 8 in the morning until noon. Now, the water is going to be off along Golden Spike Road, Horseshoe Circle, Hidden Circle, and other connecting roads. Construction crews on Cheyenne Street, they're going to be finishing water tie-ins for that project, which overall will improve traffic safety and efficiency on Cheyenne Street.
There has been some confusion as to what to do while driving through one North Fargo road construction project. Take a look at this map. A city official says too many people are incorrectly turning left onto 7th Avenue, trying to go north, which has caused several traffic backups. Officials say you should turn left onto 10th Street North instead. Work will continue on the south end of the project throughout the next week.
Later on Valley News Live, a new version of the once popular asthma inhaler will soon return to U.S. stores.
Low temperatures today in the single digits and low teens. Many of these readings happening as we speak. And earlier, snow flew in the Southern Valley. This is our look from our Dakota Magic Casino camera down south this evening. More flakes in the forecast. Details are next.